Hi, it's Tristan back with another video here, and we are taking a look at and reviewing the Fellows 76CT paper shredder. This is a little bit of an updated version or updated model of a prior paper shredder that I have reviewed called the 79CI, I believe. This one is a little bit bigger and it's also faster, so it can shred your documents faster. And also the bin on this one holds a little bit more. It has a 6.5 gallon bin rather than a 6-gallon bin. It still has the silent shred technology, so it's very quiet compared to other shredders. And it's got a really good design. It's a cross-cut shredder, and I think it works really well. So here you can see the controls. This piece can also flip down and you can put CDs and credit cards and things like that in there. And it just prevents the shards from, sort of shooting back up. It's just a guard. But when you're doing normal paper, you just put it in this slot. Now, one feature that this shredder doesn't have is the safe touch feature. The prior model had a feature where if you would touch it, it would just stop shredding, like touch it right here. But in practice, you don't really need that because you can't, really stick a finger through here anyway. It just is too narrow. And also the motors are pretty down, pretty deep down in there. So the motors aren't right up here. You can't really see it in this video, but they're pretty low. So in all, it's pretty safe. Even if you touch this while it's moving, you're not going to hurt yourself or anything like that. And perhaps Fellows had issues with that sensor, on the prior model, the 79 model, the 79CI model. So maybe that's why they've done away with that and just sort of, come up with a simpler design. And also this has a, pull-out bin here. So when you want to empty it, you can just pull that out. You don't have to lift anything in terms of lifting this up or anything like that. So it makes it very easy to remove the shreds when you want to. And if you wanted to, you can also put a bag in here directly to catch the shreds. This also comes with 3 plastic bags and also some shredder oil as well. Let me go ahead and shred some stuff, and you can kind of get a sense of how quiet it is. Now I'm wearing a wireless microphone that I will put near the shredder. Actually, I'll just go near the shredder when I do my shredding, and you can kind of hear how quiet this is. I've got a bunch of junk mail here and stuff like that. I've oriented it away from the camera so you don't see my address and things like that. But let's go ahead and do some shredding, and you can hear how quiet this thing is. So you can probably hear that it's pretty quiet. It makes a bit of a hum, and then you hear the paper sort of shredding inside, but it's really quiet compared to most other shredders that I've heard. You've also got a jam buster button here, so if it jams, if it stops and jams, you can press this button and it'll automatically kind of clear the jam and just sort of power through it for you. But this is rated for up to 16 pages, and I wouldn't put more than 16 pages in there. But you can kind of see how fast it shreds too. Like when I put a document in, you can kind of just see how fast it feeds it through. It's definitely faster than the prior model, the 79CI model. And this model is rated for 20 minutes of continuous use before it would need to cool off. It can also handle paper clips as well as staples too, so you don't have to worry about removing those before shredding. And then if for some reason you need it, you have a reverse switch here that you can manually activate right there. Now when on in standby mode like this, it takes 0.9 watts of energy. There is a main switch on the back of it here, and if I power that off, then it doesn't take any energy whatsoever. So when it's on and using the 0.9 watts of energy, that's really very minimal and not too much of a vampire draw there at all. It also comes with wheels, so you can wheel this around if you want and move it places, which is quite convenient. It is a bit heavy, so that's something to be aware of, but the wheels make it very convenient to move around. Also, this is a bit of a higher shredder than the prior model. In terms of the height, although it looks bigger than some smaller shredders, the height is actually an advantage because if it's sitting next to your desk or something, you don't have to bend down as low to shred stuff. So that actually can be an advantage. But in general, I think the styling of this shredder is really quite nice and will fit in with any office or home office environment. In terms of some of the specs for this shredder, as I mentioned earlier, it is a cross-cut paper shredder, and it can do 16 sheets, and it will cut each sheet into approximately 397 particles per sheet. It can do discs such as DVDs and CDs. It can do credit cards, paper clips, staples, and even envelopes like junk mail that you don't even open. It has a 20-minute continuous runtime. And it has what Fellows calls silent shred, which is their ultra quiet motor operation, which I think it uses an induction motor. This one is really quiet compared to other shredders that I've heard that really sound like power tools in comparison. This one has a 1-year warranty and the cutter warranty is 5 years. Let me go ahead and show you the back of this. I'll also just sort of scan down here and kind of get a sense of it. It's a little bit of a taller shredder, as I mentioned, so if you don't mind that, this is going to be a good shredder for you. But it's certainly not one of those small little ones that you have seen before. And here's the back of it. There's no cable management on the back or anything like that, but here's that master switch that I was talking about earlier. So this shredder really seems quite reliable and is really fast, and seems like it can handle almost anything that you throw at it as long as you're 16 pages or under. It definitely shreds faster than the 79CI model that I have reviewed previously, and yet at the same time it has, about the same footprint. I really like the look of it. It doesn't just look like a trash can or something like that, like many shredders look like, and the pull-out bin is really convenient to empty it. So you're not having to lift anything really except the bin when you empty it. It's got a full assemblage of indicators here telling you that it's open, and then when you close it, the light will go off. So it's very easy to remove that bin. If it gets overloaded or overheated, it will also tell you here and stop as well. So after you run it for a continuous 20 minutes, you'll need to let it rest for, I believe, about 40 minutes. I haven't yet run into that limitation at all myself in practice. This shredder retails for $219, so it is a little bit on the expensive side, but it's the kind of shredder that I think will last you a lifetime. So this has been my look of the Fellows 76CT paper shredder. Seems like a really good shredder. It retails for $219. You can probably get it for a little bit less. And I think it's the type of shredder that should last you a lifetime. So thanks for watching, and as always, for pricing and availability, check the description field. And for community and comments, check the comments field. I'll see you in my next video.